Habari Gani. Welcome. Earthen Sojourner here. And if this is the first time that you have visited this channel, I want to encourage you to subscribe, to hit the like button, and to leave a comment. Now, many folks have heard about Kwanzaa. This video is about Kwanzaa and what you can do if you want to celebrate Kwanzaa. There's lots of discussion about whether or not as Black people we should celebrate Kwanzaa. If you've ever celebrated Kwanzaa, or if you're planning to, leave a comment below. We're going to answer your questions about how you can celebrate Kwanzaa. Thanks for sticking around. Hey, so first we're just going to talk about the first day of Kwanzaa, Umoja. Now, Kwanzaa is a cultural celebration of community, of family, and of African ancested culture. It's celebrated the 7 days following Christmas, December 26th through January 1st. And rather than an alternative to the traditional December holidays, it's actually a supplement. And most African ancested people celebrate it in addition to Christmas, not instead of Christmas. And now the name Kwanzaa actually is Swahili, and it means first fruits. It was based on the harvest celebrations that were in Africa. It was created by Ron Malangwa Kuenga. He was an African studies professor in California. And the first Kwanzaa was celebrated and created in 1966. So the Kwanzaa celebration includes celebrating and identifying 7 principles. Those are called Nguzo Saba. Each day of the Kwanzaa celebration relates to a particular principle. There are 7 principles or days of Kwanzaa that are celebrated, and together they are called Kawaida, which is a common philosophy or a synthesis of shared value. And each of the 7 days of Kwanzaa is dedicated to one of these principles. The celebration typically includes a gathering of your family to light the candles, to discuss the principle for that day and how it relates to each of you, and also to have a libation and perhaps to partake of a meal. The 6th day, which is typically New Year's Eve, is the night of the big feast. So as you gather to celebrate the first day of Kwanzaa, which is Umoja or unity, the first thing that you'll do as a greeting is to say Habari Gani. In Swahili, that means, what is the news? And the response of the person that you are greeting should always be the principle of the day. So Habari Gani, your response would be Umoja. There's a pledge also that relates to each day or each principle. The pledge for Umoja, which is usually said together or can be repeated, is to strive for and to maintain unity in the family, the community, the nation, and ourselves. And on the first day, you light the black candle. And as I said, each day there's a conversation about the meaning of the principle, how not only it is acted out in the household and in the community, but what it means individually to each person that's in attendance. So I wanted to share, and unity being the first day, for me, it's been really difficult, I think, to achieve unity in the past 2 years. We've been isolated and quarantined, and many of the current events and issues are serving to divide the family and the community. There's lots of things like our political leaders, vaccinations, masks, social issues like violent policing, guns, and abortion. They've created a deep chasm in the nation and sometimes in homes. Now, the principle of Umoja, or unity, it's challenging in a world where sometimes the concept of oneness is seen as rigid individualism. In the I, you, me, and the individual reigns. Take care of self first. How often do we hear what you need to do is what's best for you without any consideration of the greater good? So in order to strive for unity, we really have to be intentional. Being intentional with our care, with our concern, and with cooperative achievement as a principle. Umoja may help us to get past some of our divisions that have resulted from the pandemic. When I'm in unity with my world, I will do what is necessary to help protect and preserve that community. Say that again. When I'm in unity with my world, I will do what's necessary to protect and preserve that community. Unity within our homes and community may look like getting vaccinated and wearing masks. It may look like doing some things that I might not have chosen to do if not for the sake of unity. Umoja is like all of the principles. It's both a principle and it's a practice, and all the other principles spring from it. They don't really work without Umoja. It is essential and foundational. You want to strive to be in unity, i.e. harmony, with the family, with the community, and with oneself. Each day of Kwanzaa allows individuals to do some reflection as they address the principle of the day. So when I think about unity, I want to think about what am I going to do in this upcoming year to achieve unity? What are you going to do in the next year to achieve unity, to work for the greater good? If you want to learn more about day 2, stick around. Day 2 of Kwanzaa. Habari Gani. Kujichagulia. In Swahili, that means self-determination. And the principle of day 2 is self-determination. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and leave a comment if you're celebrating Kwanzaa this year or if you've ever celebrated. Day 2's principle includes a reflection on your personal and collective identity. The questions for the principle are: who am I? Am I all that I can be? Day 2 also includes an opportunity to remember the ancestors and to acknowledge and to name those who overcame. Some Kwanzaa ceremonies do this by having a libation as they speak the ancestor's name, or just by sharing in a circle an ancestor's name said out loud. That can be done after the pledge or before the pledge. Just the name of an ancestor that you want to honor. So in order to name and define ourselves, the who I am, we first have to know where we came from. Kujichagulia, self-determination. And the pledge today to define and name ourselves, as well as to create and to speak for ourselves. Kujichagulia, or self-determination. It's a process by which a person controls their life. It includes the precepts of freedom, authority, responsibility, support, and confirmation. In order to achieve self-determination, it may include stepping outside of your comfort zone to do something that you have always wanted to do, but maybe that you've been afraid to do. The act of creation and definition, like the act of birthing, can include hard work, chaos, and novel physical and emotional experiences. Stepping outside of your comfort zone can do all of those. My move towards Kujichagulia this year has been this YouTube channel, Earth and Sojourner. As I'm growing older, it became harder and harder for me to overcome what felt like imposter syndrome and to step out and try something new. I've been a healthcare administrator for 35 years, and to become a creator on YouTube has pushed and prodded me in directions I never imagined going. But I see the need for some different conversations about aging that aren't all clinical, medical, pharmaceutical, cosmetic, or about how to avoid it altogether. Now, rejection is probably the scariest part of this whole journey I'm on, but I'm feeling clear about who I am and where I'm going. It's the tagline, really, to my channel, Earth and Sojourner. We're all travelers on this celestial ball. You might as well travel well. So in addition to the other questions about who I am and am I all that I can be that you can reflect on day 2 of Kwanzaa, you can also think about what will you do in the next year that's going to define you, that's going to move you forward, no matter how scary or how intimidating it might seem. If you have a plan, drop that in the comments. Joyous Kwanzaa.